Hello. Hello, hello. So, a little bit of a different stream today. Um, I just ain't feeling the gaming vibes tonight. I wanted to do a little bit of a stream on Monday, so yesterday, but that didn't happen. Oh, I got my own. Hello, hello. Got that volume was up. I am I did some tests earlier on the stream because the last stream that we had, or that I did, I had some drop frames and it wasn't as clear as I wanted it to be. So yeah. So I wanted to do some testing. I am seeing that again. And it's a little frustrating because the internet that's at my house is, how do I say this? Garbage. And there's nobody else besides the one that we have. So I've checked around, even looked at Starlink and was like, yeah, that. And they won't be in the area until, like, again, because I think there's some in the area. They won't have enough satellites over this area until like 2023. So I'm like, dope. I can't wait. So the internet here is just not good, and found out that the package that the internet is in is an old package, and it was, you're supposed to have this high speed and all that stuff, and we don't get that here. We don't get that high speed. And I know it's all based on like a lot of people being on at the same time and everything, but it's still just, like the title says, pain. And so you can't do a whole lot at the same time. Like right now, as I'm talking, I am like changing settings so there's no drop frames or anything. I'm going to try something because I am using the internet on something else. Oh, it's working. Cool. We'll see. We'll have a backup in case all that messes up. But like I said, different stream today. This was something I wanted to do on Monday in the morning, so yesterday, but I woke up and I don't know if you know this, anyone that has seasonal allergies, which is me, this time of year and in like spring sucks. I'm allergic to ragweed, which is the allergy that's out now. And it is the worst allergy I think I have because it's very much a delayed allergy for me. Because for the ones that don't know, I did Thriller for, I think it was like 10 years. I don't know. It was more than that. It was like 15 years. So I did that every Halloween, every October, and we would do shows outside, and it would be like hours long type of thing where we just repeat the routine again and again. And let's just be clear, it got cold, and whenever I have allergies, the cold helps it, right? So what happens is you go out, perform, you're outside all the time, and just all of a sudden you get home, you sleep, you wake up the next morning, and it's just like, it's just clogged up. Yeah, allergies suck. So that was me. I was outside a little bit. Windows were open here at the house, which is a big no-no if you're someone that suffers from allergies. Like, outside bad, inside good. So you try to separate those two as much as you possibly can. So yeah, I was like not feeling it, and I was going to do a whole bunch of recording yesterday as well, and woke up and sounded like I had just like, those like earplugs that are soft, mushy, and you like squish and then you put in your ear. Sounded like I had four of those on in each nostril. That it was bad. I was like, nah. I woke up today not feeling great either from allergies, but yeah. Um, so I'm going to do what I was planning on doing yesterday. So this might not be like a long stream. I don't feel like gaming. I actually prepped for a game. I have all this stuff prepped for it. There's hair floating around. Sorry, I didn't mean to blow in the mic. And as I'm like prepping, because I got to play through the game and make sure I'm not going to like explode my computer. And yeah, I was just like, I don't want to do this. So we're going to talk about some of the stuff I want to talk about, and then we'll get into all the other stuff that I want to chat about. I just to be clear again, just have been struggling. So that is what we're going to be talking about. Is just struggle bus that I've been on. So, but first, there's other stuff going on in the world. So let's talk about weather. How about that? Isn't that fun? Talking about weather on a stream. So, I'm guessing everyone's heard about the hurricane going to. I'm gonna move my mic. Whoa. I guess everyone's heard about the hurricane going to Tampa and Florida and all that stuff. I have family that lives in Orlando. Now, they're inland, so it's going to be a lot better for them in terms of like how bad it'll be. But I'm still like worried because I also know people that live in Tampa and moved to Tampa that were old students or went to the same studio and blah blah blah, And uh, so if you're watching this, you're one of the ones that live in Tampa right now. I know one of my old students just moved there, just moved to Tampa, and then they're pretty much being greeted by a hurricane. So hopefully, I haven't checked anything lately. I know one of the people I watch here on YouTube, uh, who's a meteorologist and all that stuff. He streams and he's kind of a no BS meteorologist. He's not gonna uh, amp up for views or anything like that. He's going to tell you how it is, the good side of it, the bad side of it, all that stuff. So I know he's doing a live stream right now and talking about it, and he has storm chasers on the ground. So uh, whenever I get done here for tonight, that's probably what I'm going to be doing is tuning in and seeing how all of that is going. Um, so, but yeah, I like I said, I have family in Florida, and I was like, telling my mom like, hey, probably need to like nudge them and make sure that they understand this is going on because they were on vacation. I think Utah, and I was like, make sure they know it's heading that way, and they had been talking about it. The Hurricane Ian, it is. They were talking about how it was going to get to a category 5 before it reaches landfall or it reaches land. And I'm like, what? Because even though, like I said, my family's in Orlando, so even though they're inland, the bad thing is tornadoes. Yeah, it'll be right on the perfect side where tornadoes could be an issue. So I'm like, please tell them, please let them know and make sure they're watching it. But of course, they've been through a few hurricanes. This is how nonchalant they are about hurricanes for the most part, right? They've I don't remember them ever leaving for a hurricane. And I remember one year asking, hey, everyone asking them for an update, and they were just like, oh yeah, your uncle's out in the street in the middle of the high winds of this hurricane, jumping up and down, seeing how far the wind will push him back. So it's funny. I would do the same thing, to be honest with you. Um, I said that Oh, I'm getting text messages. Sorry, chat. All right. So, uh, I say that during a hurricane, I just go out in the middle of the road and jump up and down too and see how far the wind will push me back. But for what year was it? 2009, I think it was in May 2009, I think. Do I have that written down somewhere? I think, yes, it is May 2009. I wrote down something called derecho. I think I'm saying that right. Derecho is came through the area that I live in, and um, whenever it went through, see what happened. That day was a wild day. Okay, so it first started out, we were going to get tornadoes and all that stuff. So we had a tornado warning, and I was like, hey, I left my house and I was about to cook pizza rolls when the tornado warning hit, and I was like, no. So I left and started heading over to my friend's house because they had a basement. And by the time I got there, tornado warning over, we're in the clear. So I turned around and went back home. So I put my pizza rolls in the oven, started cooking, and then all of a sudden, another one pops up, and they're like, "Hey, get to your safe spot." I'm like, "All right." So I my pizza rolls were done. So I'm like, I'm not leaving my pizza rolls. I am hungry. So I grab my pizza rolls, throw them in a bowl, grab some Parmesan cheese, walk out the door with the Parmesan cheese and the bowl of pizza rolls, get in my car, and start driving. However, wind started picking up like no other. So I'm like little less than halfway to my friend's house. It wasn't that far, just across town. And I pull in the hospital that was in town and just park, right? Because now they were saying, oh no, not tornado. It's going to be strong winds, straight line wind, straight line rain, all that stuff. So I'm like, okay. So I pull in and I park, and I just remember thinking, I'm away from trees, I'm away from anything that could fall and hit me. And then as I'm saying this to myself in my head, I'm hearing like a ding, ding, like something hitting metal, right? And I'm looking around like nothing's gonna hit me. I picked a perfect spot, and if anything goes bad, I can just run right into the hospital because I'm right there, right? And I'm looking around and I'm like, nothing's gonna hit me except for that big pole holding that flag that's pulling it, and this thing is so swaying, not like swaying a little bit. I mean swaying. I'm like, maybe I should move, but of course I didn't move. I stayed there and just put on some Parmesan cheese on my pizza rolls and just kept eating. I enjoyed a snack while enjoying a show and worrying about that pole falling over. So that was when that happened. And then of course, uh, after that, I didn't realize how bad it actually was because I was so just kind of in the open and nothing around me to really judge. But I mean, I knew the wind was strong because my car was rocking and that pole was bending. Um, and then as I'm leaving and I'm driving back, it's near like where I was near like downtown of a small town area. So there wasn't a whole bunch of trees, right? Uh, to know that this wind was so strong, it uprooted trees. If it didn't uproot them, it tore them to shreds. People's roofs were torn up. Power was out. And again, I was by the hospital. So hospital didn't lose power really, right? And so I had no clue. I get home, I'm like, what why is our power not on? So uh my buddy and roommate at the time worked in almost said where I'm from. Worked in another town about 20 minutes away. And he was texting me saying, hey, power's out here in this town, everywhere. And I was like, yeah, power's out here at the house too. and then calling my parents. They're saying they're in another town as well, and they're like, power's out here, trees down, all this stuff. I get uh there was I had like two trees right at right off the road. So where I lived, there was, you parked on the side of the road in front of the house, and then there was like a little sidewalk that walked right up. I had two trees on each side of that sidewalk, and they were blown over. So I was like, "Oh, yeah, this ain't good." So, um, so those were pretty much shot. They needed to be torn down after that, which a lot of trees that were small and whatnot that kind of got blown to pieces needed to be cut down in the area. And what happened, if you don't know, if you're not from the area, what happened was power was out around the area for, I want to say, almost a week, because me and my buddy had to like uh, go wash clothes in an area that didn't get hit as bad as us. So, so yeah. Uh, what else happened? Oh, the funny thing that happened that day. All right. So I knew power was out everywhere and all that stuff. I think it was a Friday, because I was like, I had rehearsals or something like that, or classes or something. So it was during the week. It wasn't a weekend. I want to say it was a Friday, but maybe it wasn't. Right. So I'm like, I'm trying to get a hold of the owner of the studio I was working at the time, and to try to figure out what was going on, if we were going to have classes or not, because I didn't know how bad it actually was there. I knew the damage that was going on back in the town I was living in, but man, I called. I finally got a hold of the owner, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm on my way into classes," and she's like, "Why? We don't have power." I'm like, "Well, I didn't hear back, so I'm like, I'd rather just show up. If no power, no classes, then cool, I can just turn around and go home." She's like, "No, turn around and go home now," because there's no classes, there's no power. So so I just went home and sat in the dark. That's how the derecho of May 2009 went for me. So to be clear, I didn't get out and jump in the wind and see how far the wind would push me back. So uh, that's how that went. So if I was in a hurricane, I probably wouldn't actually go outside and jump, but I might. Who knows? Never been in sustained winds that strong for, Draco was like 10 minutes, 10, 15. I don't know. Not hours. So, uh, but yeah, like I said, what I'm worried about for my family is the tornadoes that could come out from the hurricane. So, um, that's my worry. And that was the game I was going to play. By the way, I was going to play Storm Chasers today. It's like a sim where you got to chase storms and take pictures of it and sell them and all that stuff. Um, like I said, I just don't feel like playing a game. But while we're here talking about weather and talking about tornadoes, let me tell you this one time. Okay, so this was way back. I was young. I was real young. Um, you want to know how young? The Bulls with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen were in the playoffs. So this was like June ish, June, July ish of 1990 something. Okay. I remember this vividly too. So my mom was out of town. She was driving to her friend's house in Indiana. Right. And me and my dad went to a town over to grab some food. At the time, yeah, we got some storms coming our way. Nothing big, nothing to worry about. And then all of a sudden, we're done eating. We're watching the basketball game. Things start beeping and going off. Tornado warning pops up on the TV because we didn't have cell phones then and let us know. And again, 1990 something. And we're sitting at this place in the town, and we're like, okay, maybe we should leave, right? Smart idea. Leave safety of a building, right? during a tornado warning. We walk outside, we're looking at the sky and everything. Again, I'm young. And my dad goes, it's clear over that way. And that the way that he was pointing was towards a park. So we get in the car, we head towards the park, right? We get there. There's an older couple there. And my dad's like, okay, go into the bathrooms where the ballpark is. Because this ballpark at this park, the stands are concrete, right? So the bathrooms are surrounded by concrete. Um, so yeah, my dad was like, yeah, go hide out in there and let us know. And this older lady was trying to get me to like go to the bathroom and take cover and all that stuff. And I'm just sitting there like, no, I want to see the tornado, right? So we're standing. They gave up trying to get me in somewhere safe, right? We're standing there, wondering about the weather, all that stuff, talking, and I look up, and sure as enough, the clouds start spinning, and it looks like the tornado is about to start coming down. It was starting to come down. I'll be real on you. You could see the edges of the tornado start to form, but I was lucky. We were lucky because it never happened. It never came down. It stayed up there, fizzled out. So, anyways, moral of the story is just because you see the edge of the storm doesn't mean you're out of the clear of a tornado or anything bad. Just to be clear. So, yeah, I would love the storm chase. It literally to go tornado chasing. I would love it. It is. It's probably a like. I would probably put that on my um. What is the list? Man, I'm blanking. What is the list called? Where it's not a honeydew list. It's not that. The bucket list. There we go. That storm chasing a tornado is definitely on my bucket list. 1,000%. Would love to do it. And everyone's like, no, you wouldn't. I'm like, huh, bet. I literally, I will get in my car and drive to a tornado. As long as it's flat area, I'll drive to a tornado. I'll spend months chasing tornadoes until I get one. I will. Literally. I'm actually not joking. Like, if someone's like, hey, I got a couple months of free time. You want to go storm chasing? I'd be like, bet. Let's go. Let's go now. Well, not now, because storm it's not the best time to go chasing. And yeah, so but but yeah, I definitely would love to do that sometime. So it'd have to be like spring during tornado season though. So um what else is there? Oh, but you know what? The only thing that would hold me back from tornado chasing in like the spring when those storms would be the worst and get a tornado and everything is allergies. I talked about this earlier. Allergy season is it sucks. And the yeah, I feel like over the years, it's just allergy season gotten worse. And they say it has. Like the allergy season's gotten longer, more potent allergens are being put in the air, and spring is horrible. Horrible. Literally, any smell of the outside, I'm like coughing and sneezing and hate it. Um, so that would the only thing that would suck because winds and allergies don't mix very well. So, um, and then like I said, allergy season 2.0 is here right now. Everyone loves this. Everyone loves fall, and I'm like, I hate it. Everyone loves spring. I hate it. And then everyone wonders why my favorite season is summer. Why? It's sweaty. Yeah, there's no pollen in the air. I love summer because I don't have to deal with allergies. And then But winter, you don't have to deal with allergies in winter. Yeah, but I got to deal with the cold. I don't like the cold. I'd rather be sweating. I'd rather have to get up to go leave the house, walk out, need to turn around and walk back in the house because it has sweated through all of my clothes. I'd rather have that and then have to walk out with 15 layers of clothes on, get in the car, get so hot that I got to take off 13 layers. Then I'm left with two. Then I get out of the car, but I'm sweating from the 15 that I had on previously. I'm getting out of the car with 2 layers, and then all that sweat is freezing to me. And then I got to put back on those 13 layers. Hate the winter. Hate cold. I've literally talked about, I want to spend summers north, like Montana, and then winters in like Florida. I know it's cold there, but it's not Midwest cold. See, Midwest does this thing where spring and fall, it's just you don't know if it's going to act like fall or spring, or if it's going to act like winter, or if it's going to act like summer. And it's a constant bounce. So on top of allergies, you're getting that constant change in weather and temperatures, and you're just like, it stuns me. When I tell you my allergies are bad, they're bad. There are times that I'm just so shot from my allergies, just worn out from them, that I'm just useless. I'm just sitting there staring like, oh, I don't feel good the whole day. So I got distracted by my mic. But yeah, it can pain. That's been literally my saying, pain and suffering. This weekend. By the way, I want to ask you something. I hear this all the time, and it hurts my brain to think of this. So I've known about this for a while, but I just can't fathom it, basically. So I found out a long time ago, and it got reminded to me like earlier today and yesterday. People don't have inner dialogues. Not everyone has one. I am the unfortunate one that has one. And I can't imagine it being quiet up here. How do people without inner dialogues live? Is it just quiet? How do you think? How do you think through things? Seriously, like legit, how do you think through anything? Seriously. I have nothing else to say than that. How? Because here's what happens with me in my head. Okay? So let's say I'm planning a show, right? Or planning a show, right? And I have a theme and storyline I want to go over, and there's parts I want to hit throughout the storyline, right? And I have to, in my head, I literally think out the entire thing in my head from start to end, right? How would you plan that out without going through it in your head? Anything that I create, whether it's a thumbnail, a stream, choreography for a routine, a show, a video, anything, every single detail I see in my head and I think it through. So I've gone through the process of how this is going to look, how this is going to be, how this is it, this, and this, and this. And it's hard for me to translate what's in here to paper, right? And I can describe it to people. It's probably not going to make sense, but I can describe my ideas to people. But it's hard to translate because I see the visual in here and I can't get it out because I not only have thought about it and seen it in here, I have talked it out with myself. I'd be like, hey, so I got this idea, okay? So this guy and girl walks into a bank and robs it. So Bonnie and Clyde. I mean, kind of like Bonnie and Clyde. It's exactly like Bonnie and Clyde. I mean, no. Okay, what's their name? Donnie and Clyde? Yeah, it's Bonnie and Clyde, isn't it? No, it's not. It's Donnie and Clyde. Ooh, messed up there, didn't you? That is my head all the time. How do y'all think through things? That's also why I have a hard time sleeping, because literally my brain just keeps going. And it's not just my brain, it's my voices in my head. And it's my voices, not anyone else's. I wish there was other voices different than mine in my head. That's normal, right? I'm not crazy. Okay, I think I am crazy, but that's different story. Uh There's a cool thing. This is random, by the way. Off topic. I've literally been thinking about this, that whole conversation, by the way. That's what I mean about voices in my head. So on the new phones, they have that dynamic island, and they have where you can follow the score of a ball game. Okay, maybe not. And what you see up here is, you just saw my Face ID try to work. Can you see it right up at the top where it says 1-0? That's the Cardinals game. You can have the score on. This is my favorite feature. The only thing I hate about it is you literally have to go on the TV app and click. I have it where it doesn't focus because this camera literally just wants to focus on whatever it wants to. So anyways, let's try this. Yes. So you have to click a button that says follow to follow the game. I'm like, you already know that my favorite team's Cardinals. Why should I have to? It should just automatically happen, was what I'm trying to say, instead of having to go into the TV app and click follow. Pain, suffering. So I probably puts me on what I want to talk about and stuff going on. Before I do, this is delicious. Delicious? Delicious. Am I saying that weird? Delicious. Anyways, this is Lonnie New. This is an energy drink. This is probably why I also have trouble sleeping sometimes. It's 7 o'clock and I'm drinking an energy drink. This is called Witch's Brew. This is the first day I've had this. First time, okay? And it obviously, it looks like it's going to taste like caramel apples, right? But I was like hesitant because it's very specific taste, right? For the rest of them, I'm collecting cans for a video, so don't judge me when I do this. I'm going to show you literally like the ones I drank all the time. I'm literally not joking. I have cans right here. I'm not collecting them for like anything probably like smart for the environment. I'm collecting them for a video. So chill. Stop judging me. Because I know there's people out there judging. Shut up. Oh, there. That's the one I'm looking for. Okay, so I just looked at all of these. Anyways, so we got Witch's Brew. This is one I just tried, which I'll get back to in a second. And then this is Rocket Pop. So obviously it looks like the red, white, and blue ice pop thing. And it tastes just like it. It is delicious. and it was perfect for this summer. Perfect. I'm gonna just slowly put these in back here. And then this one is a newer one that I just found. It's Arctic White, and I don't know what it tastes like because I drank it and I'm like, this is delicious, but I don't know what it tastes like. And the only thing on the can is icicles. Is ice. So I don't know. Does it taste like water? I don't know. It tastes like something. I can't figure it out though, but it's good. Oh, okay. Yes, again, I'm not going to do that. This is the other one. Breezeberry. You can see raspberry, blueberries. Is there blueberries on this? I don't know my fruit. So, it's good though. It's a berry and it's very, very good. I think I had this one yesterday actually. And then there's, this is one of my favorites too. Hawaiian shaved ice. Let me move it away. Yeah. So it tastes exactly like if you got a Hawaiian shaved ice at like Tropical Snow or whatever shaved ice place name is. So a little bit of coconut, a little bit of strawberry, a little bit of watermelon. Or is that coconut? That is not coconut. Lime. Anyways, Hawaiian shaved ice tastes just like it. It is also very, very delicious. And then my favorite out of all of them is Cosmic Stardust. Love this thing. And okay, so you know like those chalky candies? It tastes like the purple one and like the purple and the red mixed together. Does that make sense? Like a good one. Oh no, I can't think of what it's called. It's on like a stick and then it's like a candy pop, but it's chalky. Like, I don't know what it is. I had it as a child. I would still eat them today, to be honest with you, but this tastes just like it. And my favorite thing about these is they're only 10 calories. And I've also been on keto, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And it only has 4 carbohydrates. So, and actually 1 sugar alcohol. So it's net 3 grams of carbs. So these are great. And they're not filled with all the crap that other energy drinks have. So, Alani Nu, please sponsor me at some point in time. But the other ones I like, by the way, if you really like energy drinks but want to get away from like Red Bull and Monster and all them, is I'm blanking on the name now. Oh, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna have to look it up. I think it starts with C. I'm literally looking this up. Hold on. It's gonna bother me. I have to look it up. Like Celsius. I didn't even look it up. It came to me. That's what I have to do. Anyways, Celsius is another good one. They have a watermelon one that's real good. I'll be honest, that's the one I drink. So I haven't tried the other ones. I'm very weird about flavors. So these are great. A lot of these are great. And this one, back to this one, Witch's Brew. This one usually comes out around like Halloween. I saw it last year and just didn't try it because I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. And I was like, this time around, I'm like, ah, screw it. I'll try it. And it literally, when I tell you it smells like caramel apple, it smells like caramel apple. Like exactly. Like it probably smells better than actual caramel apples. And the taste is exactly like a caramel apple. It is, listen, it's really, really good. I personally, this would not be my drink of choice. because it's a very specific taste, right? If you love caramel apples, this is it. This is it. And Alani New tweeted out yesterday something like, your something about stocking. What do you have stock of from Alani New? And speaking of, that's the first tweet that popped up. And it was, Mondays are hard. What flavors do you have stocked? Here, I'll even show you the tweet if it stayed there. Yeah. That is not the one I wanted. All right. So it's right here. Mondays are hard. What flavors do you have stocked in the fridge? Of course, I said Cosmic Stardust, Hawaiian Shaved Ice. I got Witch's Brew. So I had Hawaiian Shaved Ice yesterday, not the Breezeberry. But everyone is like, yo, Witch's Brew all day, every day. Witch's Brew, Witch's Brew. I'm like, I gotta try this, I guess. So I haven't tried the Watermelon Wave though. I haven't tried that one. There is a berry pop which is real good too. It's unfortunately, I guess how you look at it. It's Addison Rae's flavor. I think it's just there to help promote it, but berry pop is really, really good. Again, very specific taste. It's like a strawberry, like a cream strawberry soda. That's what it tastes like. Very, very good. And then they have blue slush, as you can see, and cherry slush. Okay. I love mixing blue slush and red slush at the movies. And sometimes a cola slush, Coke slush, whatever it is, right? However, I was not a fan of the cherry slush. It's the only one that I've had that I've not liked. But a friend of mine, that was his first one too, because cherry slush was my first one, and he liked it. Not for me though. What is this? Whoa, wait. Where is it? Dream Float? Can y'all see that? We're open. Dream Float? Amanda Moore. I literally know an Amanda Moore. It's not her, by the way. Where is that? We are looking for this. I did not want to get on this tangent. We are looking for this. What was I looking for? Dream Float Alon. Yes. We're looking. Okay. No way. So it's a Dreamsicle. Love it. I gotta have it. I gotta find it. Is that Target? We're just gonna look for it. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. So yeah, they have more. So we're just scroll through Target's stuff. They have Tropsicle, and Mimosa. Haven't tried either of those yet. But the rest I have tried. Except for the blue slush. And is there... That's it. Pain. I definitely don't have a plan of what I'm talking about. Oh, I do want to, because we're here and whatnot, I tweaked the, what did I just do? I tweaked the, how do you spell commands? I tweaked the, Stream Elements bot commands and all that stuff. So it should pop up. There we go. I changed it to where, if you send in a command or anything like that, it'll pop up. You click this little link, it'll tell you what commands that you can use in stream. And then, as I've talked about before on other streams, I'm supporting a cause this month and next month. It is the LLS, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. September is Blood Cancer Awareness Month, so that is why I'm supporting the LLS. You can go there, click on it, and donate to the link that just got sent. You can donate to the LLS that way, and that goes directly to them. It doesn't go through me or it doesn't goes from me to them, or sorry, from you guys to them. I don't touch it, right? It's just helping raise money is all I'm doing. So, I'm super excited about this drink. Weird transition back to the drinks, but I'm enjoying it. So I'm glad that doesn't, me gulping that down, doesn't come across on the mic. But you know what will? These things are delicious. Delicious. You want to know why they're delicious? Because it's cheese. It's cheddar cheese. I muted the mic, so you guys know. Weird tasting when you go from apple, caramel apple to cheddar cheese. So I think I said this. I was on keto. I might like bounce to it from time to time. I still eat some of the stuff that I ate on keto. Now, I have a friend that's a nutritionist and trainer and all that stuff. And I literally started keto, and like 4 weeks in, she sends out like a newsletter talking about keto. And like, no, don't do it. And I'm like, too late. I didn't do keto for like to lose weight or anything like that. I did lose weight. And but I did keto just because I have, not to get too deep in family history, but I have family history of like diabetes and stuff like that. And I'm next in line. So on both sides, by the way, both sides have diabetes on both sides of my family, and I'm the next in line for both of them. So definitely wanted to keep it in check. And when I was younger, I got diagnosed with borderline hypoglycemia. If you don't know what that is, that's pretty much the opposite of diabetes, like low blood sugar, not high blood sugar. So like in grade school, like people could tell when my blood sugar dropped because I got real pale, and I would be able to eat snacks in class and everyone hated me for it. Yeah, it was great, by the way. I rubbed it in everyone's faces all of the time. It was funny. To me, it was funny. Everyone else hated me for it, but yeah, I started that. When did I start that? We're gonna get into the actual topic here soon. I'm just segueing my way there. I have it in my Notion, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but where is it? Pain. Oh, no, I know what it's at. You guys can't see a thing I'm looking at, and it's okay because I have a lot of personal information on here. Is this it? Yes. I started it June 28th, and then I ended it. I need a calendar. Hold on. I need a calendar. I need to look. Hold on. Where's my calendars? There we go. When did the phones come out? Because it was that day. I ended it that day. Over the 16th. So almost July, August, September, almost 3 months. right? And Cardinals win 2-0, by the way. And so I basically did it for 2 months. And I I'm going to say this right now before I get into all this. Don't do keto. If you don't have like diabetes or pre-diabetes or trouble with regulating or carbs or your blood glucose level, don't do it. Ask a doctor first. I I don't jump into things. Just know that I don't just jump in head first with stuff like that. So I did a lot of research before I decided I'm going to do keto. Um, and I had a plan of like action, what I was going to do, and how many carbs I want to intake, and not only was I watching carbs, I was watching calories. So I had a deficit as well because I did want to lose weight, but the carb intake part was not to lose weight. The intake part was to regulate blood sugar level. And because I was having issues with it, I was dropping and I was peaking, and I was just not feeling good. And I just remember I had a soda or something like that, or a sweet tea at lunch one day, and I just within seconds of like finishing dinner or lunch, I just felt lightheaded, dizzy, hot, basically symptoms of what I would experience. My blood sugar was low, but I just drank this extremely sweet tea. And then there was another day where my blood sugar just dropped out of nowhere. So I was like, I got to take control and figure out what's going on. So keto was that option. And I didn't want to lose weight. So that's why I had a calorie deficit. That is why I lost weight on this, not because of the carbs. I'm going to be clear. Yeah, it might have helped, but the calorie deficit is what helped. So I had like measured out and everything, like what's my height, what's my weight, what's my, neck size and waist and all that stuff. And I stopped tracking at a certain point because I had lost the weight that I wanted to lose and just didn't care after that. So, and I felt good. Yeah, like the first week or so was kind of crappy, trying to figure out food to eat and all that stuff. And even near the end when I stopped, it was bad. I was struggling with food too. Because you're very, very limited. And I'm not a cook. I hate cooking. I'm very much a creature of habit. So I I hate spending forever on food. I hate spending forever trying to figure out what to eat and stuff like that. So I'm very much just get up and leave and go wherever I go type of person. When I moved to St. Louis, I was so there's no Chick-fil-A around here where I am, and when I moved to St. Louis, I was real close to Chick-fil-A. So instead of just like cooking at home or anything like that, I would just go to Chick-fil-A every meal. First year I was there, literally, if I showed anyone my bank account, they'd be like, Chick-fil-A is on here multiple times a day. I'm like, uh-huh. Did you get the same thing every time? Just about. I'd switch it up from time to time. So it was bad. I'm that bad when it comes to like food and like habit and all that stuff. But um but yeah, I just I looked up like keto friendly food and what you can cook, and it all looks delicious, but just didn't want to cook it. That's the issue. I hate spending time on that stuff. Um I'm going to get into it, but anything that there's a resistance, I just hate doing it. It kind of, I got to clear my throat, allergies, you know? That is so good. Anyways, it's still not clear, but it is, yeah, any sort of friction. They tell you, I'm going to get into that more. I'm not going to talk about it now. I'll get into it later. Anyways, but, so I think the first week I didn't eat meals. I snacked. That is all I did was snack. And eventually I was like, okay, I got to figure something else out because I wasn't getting enough carbs at all, not carbs, calories at all to just function. So eventually figured out, found keto bread, which is very low in carbs, in virtually actually no carbs actually, and very low in calories. And then lunch meat and all that stuff I could eat. I could even, what I didn't want to give up on this diet was condiments because I'm that person. Ketchup on a lot of stuff, barbecue on a lot of stuff. I need flavor. To, I need, for like the sandwiches, I had honey mustard. So, um, I wasn't, I didn't want to be extremely strict. And I also didn't want to be so lax and relaxed with it, that I was not staying within my goals, right? So it's a struggle to it's mostly a struggle when you're planning food with someone that's not on the diet, right? Whether it's going out to eat or anything like that, it's hard to track calories and carbs and all that stuff when you're going out to eat because a lot of places don't tell you, especially like local places, don't tell you, your calories are this and carbs are this. There's just like, here's the food, now pay, you know? So, um, at, I'm still not to my like full goal, but, I definitely dropped weight. I have skin on my, yeah, it was skin. Um, but I tracked a whole lot and, uh, I went down 20 pounds in 2 months, right? June, July, August, 3 months. Sorry, I've been on this for 3 months, just about 3 months. So in 3 months, about 20 pounds. I fluctuated a lot. So again, carbs definitely help. Or carbs might have helped a little bit, but it was the calorie deficit that I lost the weight, and the reason I lost the weight. So, um, so that's the plan going forward is to keep a calorie deficit, eat a little bit better. I'm still going to have some of the habits I got from keto, which is these. These are a great little snack on keto, but those are delicious. And yeah, I still eat those. Jerky, I still eat. I got really obsessed with Alani Nu on it because, especially when you begin the keto stuff, you're, I think any diet really, you change up your food and how much you eat and everything, and energy just kind of dips a little bit while your body adjusts, right? So it has helped. And what else did I eat? There's do I have any right here near me? It's all the way down there. I'm not getting that. But there's these little cookies. There's different flavors. I have the chocolate chip kind. They're called high key. They're made. They're not made with regular dough. They're made with almond dough, I think. I can't remember what they're made with, but real good. I was surprised with the taste. Um, there's also different flavors of these. There's Parmesan. I had those. Those are pretty good. Cheddar is my favorite though. String cheese has been clutch. Probably should stop eating that though. So I can get obsessive with it. Again, creature of habit. So um, if you want, if you have looked into doing keto and all that stuff, and you don't have like diabetes or borderline or pre-diabetes or hypoglycemia, don't do it because I think it's just not worth it because a lot of people get what's called the keto flu, and I didn't. I just got tired and energy went down for a little bit, but man, it I felt better. And when I started in the first day. So when I went to go get my phone on the 16th of September, this a couple weeks ago, I had Chick-fil-A as my break keto meal. It was great. I sat in Forest Park in St. Louis and just ate and watched Psych. It was great. Problem was I got home and I was shaky. So blood sugar dropped. The peak of it was fine. It didn't go up very high. And I didn't feel like bad after I ate it, but it was after the peak and it dropping down again was horrible. I was like, I gotta eat. That's all I could think about. So yeah. So going forward, I'm just pretty much eating the same stuff, trying to watch a little bit of the carbs so I don't over carb myself and get too much of a peak and get too much of a drop. And then just calorie deficit from there to continue losing weight and all that stuff. Because I went from like dancing every day for hours and hours to nothing. Even when I was St. Louis, I was dancing. But when I moved out of St. Louis, it all stopped. I didn't have the space. So, yeah. To say I miss it is an understatement, by the way. Let me get back to my not plan for this stream. None at all. Where is it? Here we go. Oh, I forgot to talk about the did I'm definitely a science person. Not science, but space person. Did y'all see what happened yesterday? NASA hit an asteroid. There's some weird. I have the stream up over here so I can see it. There's a weird light. You see how much that distracted me? Anyways, the DART program. Don't even ask me what that stands for. I have no clue. I knew this was happening. I just didn't know when. But they crashed a spacecraft into an asteroid, and their test is a test to see if doing that would deflect the asteroid enough to prevent it from hitting Earth. So they hit it. They don't know. I don't know if they know by now how much it deflected it, but I think that's their goal, is to figure out how much it will, if any, and if there's ever an asteroid heading for Earth, could they nudge it out of its way by doing that? So very Armageddon-y, minus the exploding the asteroid. So it was kind of cool to watch, but also anticlimactic. I hate to say that as someone that likes space stuff, because it was only sending back like pictures, and it was like every few seconds a picture. So you just see the asteroid really, really small, and then all of a sudden it get bigger, bigger. Pretend my fist is the asteroid. Bigger, 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 and then boom, gone. Feed gone. So I'm like, oh man, they could have sent another spacecraft out there to watch. I didn't mean to hit the mic. I mean, I feel like they could have sent another one out there, or sent one with it, and then it disconnects, and then as that's going, it's staying back going, just watching, but they didn't. It sucks. But inner dialogue, anyone else? Still bothers me that no one else has, that there's people out there that don't have it. I'm going to shut those blinds, because that's bothering me. I'll just do both. Yeah. By the way, I can't wait for that to get out of that window. Again, Allergies season 2.0. It's again, Midwest, crazy weather. One day it's going to be 80 degrees or 90 degrees. The other day it was 100. It got to 100 here. No joke. And they were like, yeah. And then it's going to be like high of 74 a week later. And then got down to like 50 that night. Come on now. I'm gonna go shut that off and clear my throat. So I'm gonna mute this. Did y'all see my socks? I'm gonna watch stream, see if you saw my socks. Man, is that bad? Oh, I guess I need to fix that. You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell. Having like warm socks. It was cold this morning. Like I said, bipolar weather here. But did y'all hear that? I want to see if you heard that. My throat gurgled. By the way, I'm really proud of myself. You didn't hear that. As I was starting to say, I am proud of myself with this mic. I did like I used to DJ and all that stuff, and you get out of like the flow of working on that stuff and forgetting how to like set stuff up and make sure things sound good, right? And it's just been a minute. So I had a studio mic, or not a studio mic, just like a live performance mic that I was going to use for these streams and videos and whatever that's going to come out in the future. And it was not sounding good. Was not sounding good. And so when I was out getting the phone, I was like, you know what? I'm spending money, so why don't I spend more money? And I got this mic, and it right off the gate sounded better. And then I did the normal things to make it sound even better. And it sounds good. I'm proud of myself on that one. Good job. Me. Anyways. Why is this so I'm so out of this. I'm so out of habit of like talking so much. When I taught, like I talked all the time. Well, not really. During the day I didn't talk, but at night in teaching and stuff like that, I talked all of the time. And my voice is out of practice. So but yeah. I do. I know I said I didn't want a game. I'm not going to game. I think I do want to play like some of the like online games, like Wordle and stuff like that. So we might do that, and I might chat about the stuff I want to talk about then. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I know this is going to be a little bit of a shorter stream than the streams before, so because I am hungry. And I don't really want to eat those cheddar chip things on stream because y'all will be like, shut up. And I don't know if you're like me. I can't stand hearing food chewing. It just it's like nails on the chalkboard for me. So even my own, I can't. There's times, literally last night, I've gotten to a habit at night, a little routine, and it's helped me fall asleep better. Because that's usually my issue. My issue is not staying asleep, it's falling asleep. And so I got in a habit. So I have an automation on my phone. I got to do a lot of backup sometime when I tell a story. So bear with me. Bear Grylls. Anyways, so what was it saying? My brain is just blah. So, oh yeah. So at like 10:30, I have like a focus set up on my phone, um, and a scene set up with all my lights. Where at 10:30, my phone goes to sleep mode, um, or sleep focus. Is that what I have it called? Yes. And um, it automatically sets my alarm, and the sleep focus starts an hour and a half before I want to go to bed, right? And then my alarm goes off 7.5 hours after that. So like 7:30. Because I want to make sure I get like 7 hours of sleep, at least like 6.5, 7 hours, right? And um, so it goes off. So night mode clicks in, or sleep mode clicks in at 10 o'clock or 10:30, and my lights dim. They turn purple like they are now, but not as bright. I'll go ahead and do that mode, and maybe it'll see. It gets dark. Okay, if I watch this screw this up. Where's my light control? There it is. It gets dark. That dark. It gets that dark in here. And yeah, it I don't like it being that dark. So anyways, it gets dark in here, and there was a hair floating around, and I turn on the AC back there and turn it really far down. Like 60s. 60, I think like 68, mostly because that thing back there is just kind of like weird. And for some reason it wants to say it's 68, but really it's like 70. So it's weird. I don't know. It glitches sometimes, I think. So I have to like turn it off, turn it on. Anyways, I get it real cold in here. And then I stop messing with my phone, turn off my computer. I pretty much at 10:30 when my lights go out, I'm just like, time to like start shutting things down, finishing out my ideas and work and whatever I'm doing, and start getting ready for bed. Then I go sit in that chair right there, kick my feet up on that ottoman right there, throw on a blanket, turn on a podcast, eat some string cheese, and drink some water. But last night, this is how bad sound is, like food eating. I was listening to that podcast, and I started eating some of these. I was like, nope, can't do it. I can't hear the podcast. I can't calm down. I can't chill because it just crunch. Can't do it. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is I went back down and got some string cheese. More calming to eat when you're trying to fall asleep. But anyways, that routine has worked. And you guys want to see something? This I'm going to show, because so I'll get into like explaining what this is, but this is how OCD I can be. Okay. So my podcast app, I just use Apple Podcasts. It's everywhere, and it's already on my phone. Why? So I just couldn't stand that I had a ton of podcasts that I was following, and I just wasn't listening to all of them. So I started clearing it out, but I didn't want to clear them all out because maybe I want to go back and listen to them at some point in time, and I don't want to forget about them, right? So I did this in Notion. Can I make this bigger? Yeah. So last night, this is what I did. I went through all of them. I have an Apple podcast I listen to. This is daily. I still listen to it. Lore, which is what I listen to when I'm going to sleep. I'm behind on episodes, like majorly behind, because I get in like kicks where like all I want to do is listen to music, and then there's kicks where all I want to do is listen to podcasts. So I'm trying to find that balance between the two right now. So Lore is at night. This is amazing. The guy, Aaron Mahnke, he owns Grim and Mild. It's a podcast company, and it all started with this podcast, Lore, and it's basically like I'll read you. Wait, that's not synopsis for the podcast. Basically, it's just like weird, creepy, haunted, paranormal type of podcast, but it's folklore, like dark folklore stories, right? And his voice is just really calming, great for podcasts, especially like that kind of podcast. Storytelling, has a little bit of music in it. It's real good. So highly suggest. American Shadows, haven't started this, even though it says I'm listening. And I'm going to, though. Another Grim and Mild Aaron Mahnke one. 9 to 5 Mac Happy Hour. Weekly listen. Always listen to that. I don't always listen to the daily. Like there's one that came out today. Haven't listened to it. Was there one that? Yes, there was. Haven't listened to it. Cabinet of Curiosities. Again, another Aaron Mahnke one from Grim and Mild. Great podcast. Haunted Road. This is another one that I'm going to start listening to soon that I haven't. Another Grim and Mild one. And actually, this is hosted by, I love ghosts and that paranormal and stuff like that. You're going to notice just from this stream how crazy my interests are. And just left field, right field interests, right? But the person that does this podcast and talks on it and everything, her name is Amy Bruni. I think that's how you say her last name. She was on the TV show Ghost Hunters. And I think she's still on a Ghost Hunters. Kindred Spirits is what she's on now. And is that still on? I don't know. But she was on Ghost Hunters, and I watched that show religiously for a long time. And I even drove to St. Louis to see the two guys that ran TAPS, the name of the paranormal group that's in the show, and saw them live. They were talking. It wasn't like a big arena thing. It was just like in like a conference room almost. And so they told stories from some of their investigations, and it was really, really cool. So I'm really looking forward to listening to this one. I might listen to this tonight, to be honest with you. Distractible. This is I've been wanting to listen to this for a while and just haven't. It's from Markiplier and his buddies. I don't know their last names off the top of my head, but it's Wade and Bob. So it's the three of them. The ones that if you watch Markiplier, you know who Wade and Bob are because they're in a lot of videos. Weird Darkness. This is one I started listening to for a while, but I just kind of pop in and out, so I don't have it on my like follow list. But it is another one, paranormal stuff. There is one, if you want to get into it, it talks about the Limp family. We'll just go with that. Limp family. LEMP. They lived in St. Louis, and they had a brewery. Brain is not working with me. I think I'm developing dyslexia, by the way. I'm no joke. Like, it's bad. I don't know how many times I've typed stuff and I'm like, that's backwards. But yeah, they had a beer place. And same time that Anheuser-Busch was going on, like starting and all that stuff. And the Limp family was the biggest family in St. Louis for a while. And So was their business and everything. They were like basically the Paris Hiltons and the Kardashians of the time, right? And that family just had a whole bunch of dark stuff happen to them. And Weird Darkness has a podcast, an episode. At least I think it's one episode. Maybe they broke it up in two, but they have an episode talking about it. And it's right now, like you can go to St. Louis and you can find the mansion that they lived in and the where they had their place of business and all that stuff. It's all right there next to each other. I've been there. I've not been able to go in or do anything there, but they do like haunted tours during like October and Halloween and all that stuff. They do like haunted houses and stuff like that. But I would love to do that. Maybe this year. I said that when I lived there every year, by the way. but yeah, the Limp family in St. Louis. Look that up. And also, in case you don't know, The Exorcist is on here as well. Inside The Exorcist. That was, I don't think you heard my throat gurgle again. But The Exorcist actually took place in St. Louis. Like the family that is based around a true story, right? And I think they live in like Pennsylvania. And then the kid and the mom flew to St. Louis to family's place. And that's where the exorcism took place, was in St. Louis. And the house is in St. Louis and you can drive by it. You can't go there because it is a private residence. And the hospital that the kid was taken to is in St. Louis. Now, it's very, very unclear what hospital it is, but it's so good. By the way, October is going to be nothing but scary stuff because I love October. I love Halloween and scary stuff. So anyways, back up here. Script Notes is about script writing. Transform my dance studio. This is what I listen to. And I had a conversation or followed the guy and all that stuff that runs it when I had the dance studio. YouTube Creators Hub. I listened to this religiously for a long time. Kind of stopped just because, yeah, I'll pop in from time to time though, even though it says on hold. Psychologists Are In. That is a psych podcast by two of the stars from Psych, and that some other stars will pop in from time to time as well. Haven't listened to that yet. I'm a mood person. If I'm not in the mood to watch a movie, I don't watch a movie. And same thing with podcasts. The Iced Coffee Hour. This is like a business entrepreneurial like podcast type thing. Unobscured, by the way. It's another grim and mild podcast. Tuxedo Time is by probably some of my favorite people on YouTube. Becky and Chris, they're videographers, photographers, and interior design people. And Chris is a doctor, practices and everything, right? Has a helicopter. So they're just awesome people. And you can just tell they're genuine people. Hold on a second. I thought I heard someone knock on my window, and it's weird. I'm on the second floor. So I think it was just the cats or someone car door shutting. Could be. There's also a tree that hangs over where I'm at. So anyways, I don't want to go through all these. I just realized that mood change. But I do have to say that Halloween Unmasked is amazing. If you like behind the scenes and all that stuff, this is absolutely amazing. They talked to John Carpenter, and it's amazing. That, and if you like, again, behind the scenes, Inside Jaws, Inside Psycho, Inside the Exorcist, they're all great. So I pretty much have all of Grim and Mild's podcasts on here because he does a really good job, even when he's not the host. Aaron Mackey does a really good job and has an eye or ear, whatever you want to call it, for creepy podcasts. So pretty awesome. So yeah. But what was I going to tell you guys? Oh, so pain and suffering. So the whole thing, P is for productivity and pain. I've, especially like since the studio closed, I've had a really, really hard time with productivity and stuff like that. And I feel like it just got worse. I think I had it a little bit near the end of when I closed the studio in 2017, but I think it really got worse over time. And I get really discouraged extremely easily with stuff. If there's, I should back up a little bit. Okay. I'm very, very, very hard on myself. And, it can be kind of like stunt productivity in a huge, huge way, because do I want to take a break before I get into all of this? I think I do. So I think I'm going to take a break, come back, and we'll get into it. Probably play some game, like the web games and stuff like that. So how about that? Take a break before I get into all of that, and then we'll talk all of that. So, okay, I'll be back. Give me a few minutes. This is going to be really amped up music compared to the intro, but I forgot to change it. So my bad. So anyways, I'll be right back. Okay. I'm not here. I'm not back yet. back, just chilling. I have on, so I share all this on Facebook and everything. I should probably back to full screen. I share all this stuff on Facebook and on my socials and whatnot. And on Facebook, just on like my personal page, I have it set to where it only goes to like my friends, but not everybody or certain people. Sometimes like automatically. I forgot this time around. So I wanted to reshare it. It's going to delete the old one though. Move to trash. Did that work? Yeah, I wanted, so this is a stream that I wanted to do a little while back, or wanted to do on Monday, yesterday. Yesterday was Monday, but as I said early on, my allergies was just absolute garbage. So we're doing this today, and what I'm going to talk about is going to be a little hard to talk about. Just because I don't think I talk about this at all with a lot of people. Because I'm very much I don't ever want to ask for help. I hate asking for help. I do ask for help for sure, but I hate it. So yeah, I think I'm going to start from the beginning. So, how do I want to start this? I didn't think about this through. So for ones that don't know, when I've been dancing for a long, long time, right? I started out as a performer and stuff like that. It all started in like 8th grade. I had like a little, assignment where it was like a public speaking grade. We had to get up in front of the class and we had to do a lip sync of a song. And I jokingly was like, oh, I should dance. And of course that's what I remember, but I know some friends of mine remember it differently. So I guess theirs is better, where they told me I should dance, knowing that I listen, or I watch and kind of like dance at home and stuff like that. Well, anyways, I started dancing. I did NSYNC's Pop in 8th grade. 8th grade, yes. For that public speaking grade lip sync thing. And I think I performed that song and that routine like 3 times that day after that. So, and then many times after that, just around school. And I kind of knew after doing all of that, that it was kind of something that interests me. And as someone that's shy and reserved and everything, definitely it was a kind of a weird thing, right? Kind of abnormal. The shy, quiet kid wants to dance and get in front of people, you know? So as time went on, I think I ended up booking a 45-minute show at the local mall, and it was just me doing a solo 45-minute show. They had a 45-minute gap, and I'm like, yeah, I can do that. So I ended up getting together a set list, and I was mostly doing like NSYNC and stuff like that. I don't think JT was on solo yet at that point, but I was doing NSYNC because that's who had the videos that had the choreography and all that stuff. So I could learn some of the choreography, but also freestyle and do my own thing, right? So I did the shows and it just kind of took off. Like it got to a point where I was performing and I ended up stopping for a little bit and then came back and was in the newspaper. And that was a weird day walking into school, by the way. Just walk in, everyone has your face, big face on the newspaper, standing by the lockers. I'm like, that's weird. Cool. You guys could not do that. So I don't know how many times I got asked to dance that day, by the way. I was like, No. But when I turned 16, I was told you need to get a job. So I called every dance studio in the area, every one of them. And if there's a studio that happens to see this, owner that sees this, and is like, no, you didn't. I did. I called every studio in the area. A singular studio called me back. And the one that called me back, the owner didn't call me back. I don't remember what she was, but she ended up being the person that called me back ended up being, becoming my mentor, and she's like a big sister to me and everything. So, there were times. So what I'm going to get at here is I'm extremely hard on myself, and she can attest to this. So whenever I did like solos and stuff like that, I didn't choreograph it. And I would go to competitions and just freestyle. Legit. I had like parts in the routine where I was like, yep, I want to do this here, here, and here. And that's it. That's all I had choreographed. I didn't have every last minute choreographed because I was doing hip hop. I wasn't doing pom. I wasn't doing jazz. I was doing hip hop. And to me, the genuine form of hip hop and where it all started wasn't choreography. It was freestyle. So if I'm going to compete in hip hop, I'm going to win by freestyling. So no one believe me. I still think there's people out there like, no, he definitely choreographed that. Nope. I'm just really good at it. And I'm super competitive. So, which brings me to, there was one time, I usually don't like rehearse or prep routines, in front of people because I'm already hard on myself. But this time around I had, two people in the room, and she was one of them, my mentor, now like big sister. And so I was kind of showing them what I had and whatnot. And I would get done. I would just hate it. I'm like, this is garbage. This isn't going to win. Totally down on myself. Speaking out loud what I think in my head when I'm by myself, right? And they were like, no, it's real good. And I'm still like, no, it's garbage. And they had to do their best to get my spirits back up for the routine. And it just never does. I'm way too hard on myself, and I've definitely gotten better, but it's still bad right now as it is. And so there was also a show or a competition that I cleaned house at the competition. But as soon as I walked off that stage, that was garbage. I'm not winning. I want to leave. Let's go. There's no reason we should stay here. I'm not winning this. I just wasn't feeling it. It was like freezing cold in the place. And can you guys hear my cat? Just freezing cold, and didn't matter how much I did to move around or whatnot. I just couldn't get warm to perform the way that I wanted to. Right. And man, I'll tell you what, she had to like shake me basically and be like, it's good. It was good. So, like I said, that being hard on myself and stuff like that has gotten better. But, I legit, if I'm choreographing a routine, whether it's, for a group or for a show or just for class, if I'm choreographing for 3 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours of that is me hating it, hating everything. And I've looked around and watched stuff, and it's common in creators where it's just they hate everything. think there's something that was like creatives, creatives like creative flow. Oh my God, this is awesome. Or starts out, I have no clue what to do. Okay, maybe I have an idea. Okay, this is awesome. This is great. This sucks. This is garbage. I'm horrible. I should just quit now. And then going, okay, I guess this is okay. Okay, now it might be presentable. And then, okay, it's good. Yeah, and that's exactly how it was. I love it, love it, love it, garbage. And I did that all of the time. And to a point where I had a performance crew. At studio I got the job at originally, and then also whenever I opened my own studio. And I mostly did this with my own studio though, and my own crew. So there were days that I was just not feeling it. I was hating on myself left and right, hated this, hated that. So I'd come in and just be like, I don't have a choreography. So I'm going to turn on the song and I'm just going to choreograph stuff, catch it for me, catch the moves. You guys will know I like it or don't like it. And man, kudos to all of them. If you're in crew, ain't no way I could do that. What they did, they would catch the choreography, so they would know. They would catch it. They'd be able to help me remember all those moves and also piece it together little by little, like if they were choreographing it themselves. And I loved it. It was exactly what I wanted in a crew. And it helped get me through those times where I just hated everything I was doing. And to see them get excited about certain movements and my throat again was great for that. And having the crew and having my mentor and whatnot around was always great, because I could get out of those ruts, even if the rut wasn't in dance or anything around that. It gave that momentum and that positive reinforcement that I needed elsewhere, and I like I said, I closed the studio in 2017 and moved to St. Louis. And I don't think I ever talked about this. I know I try to make videos and stuff like that in the past about talking about the studio and everything. But in what happened and why I did all this stuff, and everyone talks a whole bunch of smack, right? And gossips and wonders what's going on. I'm sure people were like, oh no, he just wants to get away from this person, or he wants to get away from that person, or finances aren't there and blah, 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 blah. None of that's true. You want to know who I wanted to get away from? Me. Just kidding. Kind of. But no, it was definitely a hard decision to close the studio. But as I said, I'm hard on myself, and and I can be super OCD, and very, strict on a lot of things, creatively, on myself. I should be clear that on myself. And what happened was, when I started the studio, okay, I'm gonna lean back for this. When I started the studio, I worked like, I'd get into the studio at like 8 o'clock with breakfast, sit down, eat breakfast, work on a website, work on advertisement, class plans, choreography, all that stuff. I'd work from 8 until classes started around 3 or 4, right? And classes from like 4 to like 8, right? And then after that, I'd go grab dinner, come back to the studio. So and then sit down, eat, and watch an episode of Psych or something like that, right? And what would happen is after I get done eating, I'd start working again. And it wouldn't be sitting on a computer, it would be turning on music and training and choreographing. And I would do that until like 3 o'clock at night. You notice there's only 5 hours left until I'm back at the studio at 8 o'clock. So I would drive home or I'd sleep at the studio in the office because I had a pretty big office and a shower and all that stuff. Both times, I had two places where the studio was. One was in downtown little area, and then it moved out and bought some land and built out there. So both had places where I could sleep in my office and shower and all that stuff. So drive home and repeat, rinse and repeat. And I did that for years, right? And I also prided myself on not missing days. I know I did, especially near the end. I missed days, but I hated missing performances. I didn't want to miss them, regardless if I was hurt or not, too, by the way. So if I had a social thing like a concert or a ball game that I wanted to go to, if I went to that ball game or that show and I missed something, you guys know that I missed a show or something, just know I was basically forced because I didn't want to miss. I hated missing it, right? And I always felt like a horrible crew director or a horrible owner, and it just circles back to being hard on myself, right? And so when years go by and you're that hard on yourself and that work ethic is there, and just to be clear, it wasn't just a studio. Whenever I opened a studio, this was in place when I turned 16 and I started working on another at the first studio I worked at, right? And so you do go through all those years just busting your ass, right? And working all of the time. Because I did that at home too before I moved out and before I opened the studio and all that stuff. I did that when I worked at the other studio as well. You know, I'd work all day and whatnot. There were times I had a little bit more of a social life than other times, but most of the time I didn't have a social life. Most of the time I was working all the time. No weekends off either. And when the time that I ended up closing the studio came around, I was burnt. I was incredibly burnt out. I was already burnt out by then. And I would take those little days off here and there. But I was so burnt out, I was getting sick. And I just, no days off, or the days I did take off, it just made it worse. And I remember taking a trip out to Germany. I had some friends that were over there at the time, and went out there for like right after Christmas and through New Year's. I literally remember going to the airport to come back home after that trip was coming to a close and not wanting to get on that plane because I was so burnt out on the studio that it was unbelievable. I was even like shocked at how burnt out I was. Every day was a struggle to get out of bed and work on stuff. And it sucks. And I should have known that it was getting bad when I wouldn't watch dance movies or watch dance shows because I'm like, it's work. I'm going to end up thinking of work, you know? And that kind of sucks, especially when dance was your whole life and you loved it and everything. And I still, you know what's weird? Still feel that way. There is a Step Up movie I have not seen because I own it. I just haven't seen it because work is what it reminds me of. And so when I closed the studio and I moved to St. Louis, the purpose was to change the pace and everything. I was majorly burnt out and I didn't want to hate dance. So it was preserving my love for dance, my passion for it, and a little bit of a sanity thing. So, uh, and yes, change of pace for sure. But that was the main thing I told everyone, not the other stuff. So when I moved to St. Louis, I got wrapped back in to dance, and a studio that was buying some stuff from what I was selling from my studio when I closed, and they asked me questions and I answered them, and they were like, "Hey, yeah, come on." And then I'm like, I don't really want to teach, maybe a master class here and there. I'm like, oh, perfect. So the plan was with that studio was just me pop in for a master class whenever, like once a month maybe. And I was like, perfect, right? Then they had issues with a teacher, and I got called in to replace, and didn't go well. Not on my end, and not on their end either. It was just the teacher backed out last minute on stuff, and I was there to fill in, and I was filling in for somebody that had been there for years and years and years. I expect my students that were with me for those amount of years as well would do the same thing. Not meaning disrespect to the new person, just it was just how it would be. And I've never walked out of a class before. I was very, very close. Like walked out and said, I'm done, because it got bad. With students not paying attention and parents just pulling them out in the middle of class. So, and then that studio ended up selling to another studio, and then I ended up talking to the new studio and the new owner, and absolutely just look up to this new owner and what she's done with her studio and now studios, and was like, I kind of was like, do I want to teach? Do I want to have a class? Blah, 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 blah. And the only reason I did it was because this new owner, because I didn't want to lose that contact, because I wanted to teach. The thing was, not then. It was too soon for me to get back into dance, too soon for all that stuff. And I was still burnt out. Yeah, I got pulled in because I know how hard it is to own a dance studio, and things go wrong and all that stuff. So I did, and that's what I did in St. Louis. The first year maybe was all that studio stuff. But I also traveled and everything. And the new studio owner, as time went on, they wanted to, for the next season coming up, they wanted to have a crew and for me to run it. And I was down a little bit. But as it got closer and closer, I'm like, I got to back out, because I was so burnt out on dance. It was still there. Even though I taught like once a week and that was it, I was like, burnt. Yeah, I just didn't want to hate dance. So I don't hate dance. And I still will watch stuff from time to time, but man, I burnt myself out. It was all me. Be clear, all me, none of my students, nothing, right? None of them. I love all my students. If you've taken classes with me in crew, I love y'all. I miss y'all. This closing the studio had nothing to do with y'all. It was all me, all me. But I feel like a lot of my issues that I'm having today started with the studio and started with the work ethic that I put myself through and how hard I am on myself, because it definitely translates to today. And I'm going to take a drink. So, so like I said, I'm very, very hard on myself, and I can because of that, I can get very down on what I know I'm good at and stuff like that. Because man, you know what? Even right now, if you threw me into a competition or a battle, I'm walking out winning. I could up. I'll serve all y'all. Do they still say that? Anyways, but yeah. So don't have a studio anymore. I wanted, thought about, since I had some time and all that stuff. I wanted to do YouTube. You can go back. You can look this. I talked about on the first stream, like, yo, this was it. This was what I wanted. My goal was, and blah 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 blah. Cool. Uh, that was around that time, I think, and where I tried to do YouTube a little bit, and then a year later, after it failed, tried to do it again. One of the things I kept going through, and I've gone through already with this time around, is that, man, this sucks. This is horrible. This is garbage. No one is going to want to watch this, and blah 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 blah. And a lot of self doubt, and it's definitely gotten worse over the years. And it's from being hard on myself for so long with dance and whatnot, that it is just the way it is. When something goes wrong, I'm just like, this is absolute garbage. Literally before stream started today, the reason we're not playing a game is because of that. Is because I had some issues last stream where I was dropping frames left and right, and it just wasn't clear. And I was also trying to do recordings, and from the recordings look like garbage, absolute trash. And I'm like, well, there goes me posting something tomorrow and the day before, day after that, and blah blah blah, and next week, and then test the stream out for tonight to make sure it works with the game that I wanted to play, and dropping some frames. And I'm like looking at stream, oh, it looks bad. But I'm looking at the stream right now, it ain't looking that bad. And yeah, I'm really, really hard on myself. So whenever that happened, I was so just frustrated and whatnot. I almost didn't press start streaming, but I had a backup plan, which is always good to have, which is productivity and pain. So yeah, this might be a series, so I can have a little bit of accountability. But going back into everything, so I've been back in my hometown area for a while, and the goal being back was to save some money and to get my business going. There's no business yet. I've done work, and within the business realm that I want, well, within the realm of stuff that I want my business to be in, but I haven't announced the business. I haven't announced anything with it. So when people ask me what I'm doing, these days I'm just like, video work. So the reason is I've redone the website 5 times at least 5 times. And there's one waiting right now that I have to finish. I really love the idea and the look of it and everything, but I want to shoot a video to introduce it, and I think it's going to be really cool, and it'll work with the theme of what I have the website as. And I've just been bogged down creatively and motivation wise and all that stuff. And I think the difference is, like I said, I'm super hard on myself, and so that's a really negative. And I think with a lot of stuff going on in the world, a lot of it's negative, and I'm just can't. So I don't like listen to or watch any political stuff or anything like that, just because it's so negative. I really just try to cut out all that. So I back off of social media. I've done, especially with getting the new phone, I've done really, really good with staying off of social media because it's so negative. Y'all fight like no other. Chill out, y'all. Okay, anyways, backing off that. But yeah, I just feel like everything's negative. And between that and between being hard on myself and and everything. I just feel like I'm just, everything's pulling me down when I want to go up, you know? So productivity has just been absolute crap for me. And one of the things that's actually helped is Notion, the app that I was showing you. Let me see if there's anything on here. Um, and gotta remember my scenes. So this is, I'm just showing you my build page because there's not a lot of information on here that I don't want y'all to see. So this was the stream, by the way. So what's really great about this can be a second brain. Like I said, earlier, I have that inner dialogue that stuff can ruin a day, and I hear it all of the time. So being able to get ideas and stuff out has been great. So this has been amazing. And I've also figured out that if there's any huge project that has a lot of steps to it, to break it up into steps, because me saying prep for a stream will overwhelm me, and breaking them up into like little tasks like this has helped big time. So need to uncheck that because I need to replay that one. So especially true with this. So this is weekly chores. So all of that. By the way, I have another set of stuff right in here, and it's highly detailed out task, and I got overwhelmed by that. So that's why I have build page that I'm just kind of testing out smaller stuff and smaller information, less information being presented to me, basically. So I didn't do any of this. I didn't do that. I haven't put clothes away. I did wash that. So that's good. I did laundry today. So I basically have it to where, why is that not down here? Those are done. Did I not sort this right? Anyways, done column, click it when I'm done. Here's this. Now this repeats every week, and I had it set up to where it would automatically change over and repeat, but I was like, nah, I'm going to do that. So this is it. You can already see that I'm behind on stuff. So ignore that. But, channel trailer, like this is stuff I had to break it down, you know? Here's this stream. I obviously did this last minute. I have a link so I can share it on social media on my phone. Got to do that with Instagram stories. So here's the one I'm doing Thursday because I'm going to play Lake again. It is not the lake, it's Lake. So yeah, breaking them up, little information. So the plan is to only do 5 a day, of course, 5 at a time. And yeah, this was the test stream that I'm going to delete right now. Here's that podcast list. References or resources is just websites I don't want to forget about. Have it in timeline so I can see how much time I got on it. Anyways, I'm pretty much redoing all of my Notion stuff so it'll work in a very minimal way, and there's not a ton of crap on it. Like I said, I get overwhelmed, and little stuff at a time. And the other thing this is solving, by the way, I don't rely on Notion only. I literally have on my phone, I'm not going to show it to you because it has information on it, but I have, can you see that? I'm going to keep it minimized so you can't see it. My to-do list right here, calendar here, and then if I go into work focus, it goes into a bigger to-do list. Again, a calendar, weather, I can get shortcut to my passwords, all that stuff. A Notion, then I also have something called Otter, and you can record voice messages and kind of do it that way so I can get some ideas out there and then put it into Notion. And then website stuff, freelance stuff, YouTube stuff, email, all that stuff, right? So it's basically Notion I'm using as a second brain, and then the other stuff is me tracking what I'm working on and keeping it very minimal so I don't get overwhelmed. That's the start. So, like I said, I think I'm not going to say this, but I think there are certain things that I do that make me think that I have ADHD tendencies because I'm not self-diagnosing. I'm just saying a lot of stuff that works for me work-wise that has actually helped has been stuff that people with ADHD use for productivity. So the stuff that I'm doing now is exactly some of the stuff. And then, yeah. So that brings me to the business, by the way. Um, yeah, the business hasn't been announced or doing anything with it publicly because of all this, because of the website not being where I want it to and everything. But I'm really excited about the business and I want to get it to a point where I can announce it soon. And there was so much more I wanted to do with it and have it done and out. And it was great, cool ideas that I was really excited about. But again, that hard on myself and stuff got in the way, sleep got in the way. I had a horrible time sleeping. Um, yeah, like I said, what I'm trying to do now is reduce friction. So there's not a lot of stuff in my way to get stuff done. Um, so yeah, I literally have a whiteboard over there that I can write stuff down on phone with all my to do list and Notion and stuff to be able to just automatically get stuff done. Um, but I'm talking about this now because when I was in St. Louis, I'm going to back up. Okay. When I was in St. Louis, uh, I was doing uh, on the studio business YouTube channel. I was doing dance tutorials and I was doing weekly every Monday, like Move Monday, I'd call it, and loved it. I absolutely loved it. But the problem was I was shooting. By the way, I was shooting them and editing them and posting them all on one day. But the problem I was running into was I was constantly getting interrupted because I was using this dance studio that was at the apartment. And even though I had them reserved and I had a sign up like, hey, don't walk in, recording going on, and all the lights were out and I had studio lights and colored lights and all that stuff and a camera and a mic on my face. People walked in, didn't care, turn on lights. I'm like, gotta redo that shot. So I ended up getting a job working at a real estate agency as a photographer and marketing agent, and or not marketing agent, marketing assistant. And those videos had to stop because not because I didn't want to do them, but because the only free time I had was on the weekends. And let me tell you, when you try to record a video on the weekends, it's worse when it comes to interruptions. I felt like I was constantly interrupted on weekends. So I just never, I kind of had to stop doing the dance tutorials on the Rhythm Effects site. And so that got put off to the side. And as time goes on, I'm working there. I'm missing it. I really love doing them. And so I ended up leaving so I could do more of that. And I had backup ways of making money. And one of that was doing like DoorDash, right? Because I was in St. Louis. I would drive out to Chesterfield, not in downtown St. Louis. Nope, not doing that. So I was able to make pretty good money doing DoorDash. And once I got the understanding of it and got the flow of DoorDash and everything, I'm like, okay, time to start doing those videos again. I should probably give you the time frame that this happened in. Started working at the real estate agency in 2019. It's like September 2019. Left in January 2020. A little bit into working that DoorDash and getting it under control. Guess what happened? First, it was Kobe. That was difficult. And then the world shut down. So no videos during the world shutdown because the apartment kind of shut it off and was like, no one can go in there. So yeah, sucked. So ever since then, I've would mess around with those gig work stuff, DoorDash, Instacart. So leading up to like the phone release, I went out and did Instacart in my local area. Did pretty well because it was Labor Day weekend and all that stuff. And ever since then, it's been absolute garbage. I would just do it. I've just been doing it on the weekends and went out this past weekend. And I need y'all to sit down for this because y'all might be shocked. Okay, y'all, I hope you're sitting down. Over the course of Saturday and Sunday, I made a total. Sit down. I don't think you're ready. A total of $12.66. Ballin'. Yeah. And that just completely discouraged me on every level. Not just with Instacart, but with literally everything else. Because I'm hard on myself and I know the orders being absolute trash orders, like, hey, we need you to drive 30 miles south and go shop at this place and come back up to where you're sitting right now, shop at this place, and then drive another 30 minutes the other way and to deliver these things. Oh, by the way, we're paying you $12. So that's not my fault, but it's just, you kind of like, I've always, when I did DoorDash and Instacart, like as a way to actually make money, it was fun for me and easy for me because I was super competitive with myself. I'd be like, here's my goal. And I would track the crap out of all of that. Okay, so this one I made $15. Cool. I'm 145 away. And I would like, cool. I'd break it up and I know like lunch, I'm going to make this percentage of what my goal is, or I need to make this percentage. Then dinner, I know I'm going to make a little bit more because it's dinner and more people are going to order then. But it was fun. And then DoorDash got horrible because I used to drive up to St. Louis and work DoorDash once I moved back here. Then they changed like pay scale and it was just horrible. So I haven't been up since. Instacart is doing the same thing. The pay got cut and it's just absolutely horrible. And the thing is, for both of them, they upped the charge for delivery to the customers, but cut the pay for everyone else. Anyways, negative. No, not negative today. But yeah, it sitting out there and just seeing bad order after bad orders is just kills your motivation and positivity. So I've been having trouble with that over the last few days because of that. So I really just want positivity, you know? I really want, so I'm going to talk about the business. Screw it, right? So, the business I have, I'm not going to say the name or anything like that, but that I'm building is, I've been doing it for a little bit. First one of the sections of the business would be with recruitment videos or skills videos for softball and baseball. I've pretty much only done softball, but that's just because that's the connections I have. And I love doing them because I played baseball when I was growing up and I miss it. But my dad has always coached. So he's a coach for one of the teams I do videos for. And being around it and even though it's softball, being around the sport, and being able to make videos and whatnot is great. I love it, have fun with it, and would love to make it the main part of the business, because I could definitely see where I can travel with it. And that's what I want to do, is I want to travel, and I don't want to sit in one place. And because I feel stagnant when I sit in one place. I feel like motivation slowly gets pulled out of me, and it's not being used. And, so travel has always been that one thing that is a good reset. So, being able to travel and work would be extremely ideal. So that's where that comes in. And like I said, I did real estate photography, and that's another part of the business that I want to have. And that one I want to hire people to help with when it gets to a certain point. But I'm really going to push the softball stuff, because the recruitment video stuff, because like I said, I can travel with that. Can't so much with real estate photography. You got to be in one place. So, there's other parts of the business that I can travel with and all that stuff, but I'm not going to talk about that. But if you know anyone that's softball player, talking like high school, that hasn't been recruited that wants to play in college, hasn't been recruited, somewhere between like late sophomore, junior, senior year, and they don't have a recruitment video or anything like that, give me a shout. Because I love doing them. And it's videos that I'm constantly working on, even though it doesn't look like I'm working on them. By the way, creatives have this thing called couch time. That sounds horrible, but I don't mean it that way. But it's basically, we sit down and we think through our ideas in our head, but it looks like we're zoning out. I could literally, honestly, I could sit here and talk to you like I am now and be thinking about how I can improve this video or that video, and you guys wouldn't even know it. So I could literally turn on a TV show and sit there and watch it and laugh at it, and you'll be like, not doing a thing, but I'm really working in my head. Promise you. I can sit and stare at a computer screen, not do anything on the computer. I'm working in my head. So I think a lot of people don't understand when it comes to like creativity and stuff like that. When you hire someone to choreograph a routine for you, or you hire an artist to paint you something, whatever it may be, you're not paying for the work that goes into making it. You're paying for the idea, because anyone can do the work to get from point A to point B for any creative thing. Literally any creative thing. Any single person can go from A to B. Of course, there's some skill to a lot of stuff, especially like crafts and design and stuff like that. But you're mostly paying for that. But I still think anyone can do it. You put the time in, you can do it. But what you're paying for is the idea. Not everyone is creative. Not everyone has the ideas that other people have. A good example are the posters that they put out, that Billy Butcher did for Stranger Things. Those posters, oh, that is not the wrong one. Not the right one. Like, the stuff he did, the reason Netflix hired him to do all these posters, they're coming up. The reason they hired him to do these is because he has the style and the vision. They paid him for the vision and not so much the work that got put in, right? So I'm sure he's getting some kickback for some of these, and I'm sure he got paid a fee just to design them. These are on sale. I'm about to spend some money. Not right now, but very, very soon. Anyways, so it's the idea. And the idea doesn't come from visually seeing someone work. It's always in the head for creatives. Choreographing. There were times I just stood there. I choreograph in the car all the time. Still do. So, but yeah. This weekend, after all that stuff with Instacart, and then I have a friend that her cell provider kind of screwed her up, and they wouldn't set up the phone. Just told her, "Oh yeah, just go down." And she's not tech savvy, and her phone, her and her dad's phone got screwed up bad, and I think they got it resolved by going back, but it was so bad that I tried everything in the book and couldn't get it fixed. And I was like, I think this is 100% on your cell provider. They kind of screwed you guys up. So I think she did say that they got it figured out. So, and the thing is, she's leaving on vacation or out of town tomorrow or Friday. I don't know. Soon, tomorrow, I think. So, yeah. So my whole quote, pain, is this past weekend. Not actual pain, you know. So, anyways, I think my voice is about to go out. So, and I'm hungry. My stomach is yelling at me. Let's do some games in this, not like online games. So let me get them pulled up, and then after that we'll call it a night. How about that? And on a positive note. Okay. Right here. All right. Do I need to make that bigger? Let's make it bigger. All right. Wordle. All right. Let's see. Usual. Pearl. Gave me nothing. Wow. This is going to be bad. Doubt. Exactly what I have. Well, this is not going positively. Let's try. I know there's an O there, by the way. Do I want? Okay, there's no T. Monks. There's an S. Okay. Oh no, I'm just doing this is horrible. Where should this be? Joist. Oh, it's at the beginning, isn't it? Is there two O's? I don't. Shall we? Let's see. Well, there's no T. Wait. Huh. So, what could this be? I just want to try it. Okay. Soggy. Last minute. Oh. Pew is right. All right. We're exiting out of that. Which one do I want to do? Wordle. Wordle it is. I'm not getting this. Well, let's just try a country. 1000% not Brazil. Didn't think it was close. Okay, Congo. Oh, it's south. Oh, I have no clue. Nigeria on the east side of. No. I think it's one of these two that's on the east side. It is not. Is this going to be in Asia and not Africa? Oh, it is in Africa. South Africa. It is not. I got close. Was nowhere near going to guess that. Not a shot. All right. Well, we're 1 for 2. Factual. All right. Is that too big? Will that fit on screen? Yeah. All right. Factual. Countries with the fastest internet, broadband download, and okay. We are not going to say Taiwan or Singapore. I think I've heard they have pretty bad internet. So let's do USA, maybe Canada, then maybe I want to say like a little bit colder countries. Oh, USA is there. Oh, not there. Okay. Let's go UK, USA, Spain, France, Germany, France, and USA. Watch be the ones I literally called out and said they don't have fast internet. I'll do France up front, New Zealand, USA, South Korea, Japan. Okay, Japan's there. Literally hit everywhere for USA, Japan, France, Hong Kong, USA, I want to say Taiwan. Oh, it is there. Wow. Maybe it's somewhere else. Another Asian country. Okay. Let's go Taiwan, Japan. I'm just going down the line. And Chile. Singapore. Did I not say Singapore? It was the one I said they don't have good internet, wasn't it? Yep. Wow. I've heard on like the freelancer stuff that some of those places don't have fast internet at all. Maybe it's reliable internet. All right, we're going to do MLB Pickle and fail miserably because I'm horrible at this one. Okay, so right-handed, not from the U.S., not on the in an AL West team, and not an outfielder from what I'm guessing. So AL, let's go Lance Lynn. I think he's right-handed. No, he switched. Okay. AL East. Let's do Judge. Okay, so it is AL East. Vlad Jr. Let's see. I don't have. Okay. Vlad. EUER. Okay. They don't have junior in there. And senior. They just have. Yeah, anyways, that bothered me. That screwed me up. So it's not Toronto, not New York. Who else is there? Cedric Mullins. Okay, it is Baltimore. I knew he was left, by the way. Left-handed. Man, I don't know who's on this team. I think I'm. Who could it be? Odor? Yes. No, he bats left. That's right. Who's the? That's not it. Is Britain? No. Man, I don't know. We're just gonna. I really don't know. I'm just going to have a guess. Is it... Where does he play? Okay, DH. Cabrera. I know it's not. He's not on the team. Who is it? Jorge Mateo. Would have guessed. Nowhere near it. All right. Am I done with these? Yes. Framed. All right. Let me make that bigger for you guys. Reading room. Okay, this gives me the oh, I can't think of the name. What is it? Like I said, my brain is just shot. So forgive me. I know I'm terrible today at all of these. Don't say a word about how I'm terrible every time. So, reading. We're just gonna. Maybe that's the clue. Nope. Okay. I feel like the name should tell me exactly what this is. Wait. Got it. I was like, I knew it. I was like, I know this movie. I'm so good. I'm so good. I'm gonna put that on my dating profiles. Got House of Rock. School of Rock. What? Yes. Within 2 frames on Framed. I would have definitely got it here. 1,000%. Seeing her, then Miranda Cosgrove, definitely would have gotten it. Absolutely would have gotten it here. 1,000%. So if I didn't get it here, I don't think I would have gotten it here. But I definitely would have gotten it there. So, so good. I'm happy about myself. With myself about that. Yeah. All right. So this one, okay, it's blue or it's green. Brain work. It's green. What has a green poster? Does that Wallflower movie have a green background? Anyways, we're going to start this. I'm going to make this bigger for y'all too. All right. So here we go. Yeah. Perks of being a wallflower. Is this it? If this is it, I said it at the beginning. I said it at the beginning before we even started this. Boom. Now, okay, cool. Now, man, now I want to try the other one and just risk it. I don't know if I do. Freaking score. It's 9 o'clock. Yes. I'm so excited that I got that. Before I even clicked it. To start going. I should have just guessed it then. I should have just guessed it. So mad at myself. Whoops. I showed you. Oh, crap. Y'all, you didn't see that. I want to make sure. Okay, we're good. We're good. I had my stream key and all that stuff up, so I'm glad that wasn't there. Anywho, I think I'm gonna call it a night. Like I said, just productivity and motivation and all that stuff has been kind of slacking. I think I'm gonna get off here, find some food, finish my energy drink, and drink some water. And then in about an hour and a half, I'm gonna go to bed. So yeah, that's where we're at. Sorry, this was just me talking for 2.5 hours. I don't think I'm gonna have a voice tomorrow, but here's the update on everything. Okay, as I'm finishing this off, Thursday having a stream and we're playing Lake. I don't care how I feel. Okay, so we're playing Lake on Thursday, getting back into it. I think we're on day 3. I'm going to try to do that most of the stream. So we're going to come in, chat, and we'll, from there, probably play some of the games like we just played, and then hop into the game. I think we're probably within like, probably chat for 30 minutes, then hop into some of those other games, and then hop into Lake. So we'll play as long as we need. I am super excited for October. And I know after the stream, the next stream we have, it's October. So yeah. Please donate to the LLS. Like I said, it's Blood Cancer Awareness Month. I'm still raising money next month as well. So if you have anything that you can donate, anything would be much appreciated. And yeah, if you want to donate, the link is there, is in chat, and it's in the description. And yeah, I think I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for watching and hanging out. Again, I know this stream has been just me talking, because like I said, motivation, just didn't feel like playing a game today. Just wanted to chat. Use this as my therapy session. I don't owe any of you money for being my therapist tonight. So I don't expect an invoice or anything. So don't send me one. So I'm going to call it a night and see you on Thursday at 6:30, where we're going to pick back up on where we left off for Lake, and be ready, because I'm going to start prepping Halloween stuff for October. We're going to be playing some horror games, and I'm extremely excited about that. Not really, because I love horror movies, but those games scare me. So I'm going to try to get a buddy as well to pop in and do a horror game stream. So yeah, I'm excited for October. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I hate ending things. It's always weird to end stuff, and you just don't know what to say and how to end anything. So it just ends up becoming like just rambling on about how I'm going to end this show and the stream and everything. And it's just like was that good? Wait, I just screwed it up. Anyways, thank you all for watching. See you on Thursday at 6:30. This is the real ending now. So see you Thursday. Thanks for watching. Love ya. Bye. I don't know how to sign off anymore. I just don't know. Anyways, bye. This is the after show. I literally, I'm going to end stream without doing the outro. I literally have these scenes keybind to my keyboard, and I type with my, whatchamacallit? My keypad, my number pad. And I just keep forgetting, so I'm typing in chat. It's there. How I'm gonna have to get my what's this called? Stream Deck going. Jeez. Drinking energy drink at 9 o'clock at night. Anyways, thanks for watching. Sorry about the weird hiccup at the end, but hopefully I can get my Stream Deck working. So, anyways, see you next time. See you Thursday, 6:30, as I said in chat, okay? Central Time. Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Love ya. Bye. Maybe.